Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Tuesday, January 7th, 2020. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. A press release issued today, Tuesday, January 7th, advises that the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, and the Nevis Disaster Management Department are actively monitoring the heightened levels of seismic activity near the southwestern coast of Puerto Rico that commenced in December 2019 and has continued into 2020. Earthquakes of magnitude 6.5 have been recorded, with some reports of damages. The release advises that it is the duty of every citizen to be prepared to respond to any adverse effects that may arise from the seismic activities. It is important for everyone to know what to do before, during, and after each hazard to reduce risks and prevent losses. Dr. Joan Latchman, UE Seismic Research Center seismologist, has confirmed that the pattern of seismic activity in the Leeward Islands supports the prognosis that a more significant magnitude earthquake than those in its database cannot be ruled out. A major earthquake is always possible, and therefore hazard awareness should be sustained. Standard operating procedures are being utilized by the appropriate authorities to address all hazard occurrences. The general public is asked to remain vigilant and maintain situational awareness during normal activities. The Nevis Division of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force held its 2020 New Year celebration on Monday, January 6th. Superintendent Lyndon David gave the welcome remarks.
We are policing by consent, and we have to look at the rights, of those who we police. Let us continue to ensure that we do take that in mind in order to win the commitment and support of our citizens and residents in our federation and more so in our division. This year, it is my intention to ensure that we have a more in-depth, a more drastic reduction, not just in violent crime, but all crimes. Having said that, the initiatives that we intend to put in place, I do believe that we will achieve that. At this time, I will plead to our community. We are your police force. We're here to work for you and with you.
Commissioner of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force is Hilroy Brandy.
It is internationally known that once you solve 33% of your crime, you are doing well. But over the years, Nevis always well over the 50. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Nevis Division for another solid performance. And I'm pleased to say this morning, all that you put into your effort bear fruit, and we are presently seeing a 5% reduction in crime in Nevis. We must continue to embrace the 4 E's of community policing, namely enforcement, engagement, education, and engineering.
Remarks were also made by the Honorable Mark Brantley, Premier and Minister responsible for security on Nevis. The feature address was delivered by Pastor Marcia Tomlinson. His Excellency Dr. Allison Hall, St. Kitts and Nevis Permanent Representative to the OAS, today Tuesday, January 7th, met with the members of the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society, NHCS, to discuss ways to further enhance the Museum of Nevis history. The newly enlivened museum offers visitors a refined narrative, makes creative use of repurposed materials, and uses new technologies such as augmented reality and QR codes to enhance the experience.
I'm absolutely delighted to have this opportunity for visiting the Nevis Cultural and Historic Society to view the new exhibits that are on display. I'm actually here from Washington, D.C., and my intent is to learn a little bit more about what has actually been put in place and to proceed with respect to exploring possibilities of increased funding for elaborating on the museum, enhancing the museum. We have great ideas in mind with respect to not only broadening its scope and certainly emphasizing the rich historical legacy of Alexander Hamilton, the place of his birth, and actually having within the museum perhaps a movie theater, a cafe, a gift shop, and certainly a sculpture of Hamilton in the courtyard. We think that these are some of the assets that would be very, very important to enhancing the legacy of Hamilton.
Dr. Hall noted that he is very impressed with the work which has been done at the museum over the last few years.
The portfolio of exhibits has expanded a great deal, and I know that the renovations that have taken place under the leadership of Mr. Richard Lupinacci, those are very, very important in terms of actually broadening the experiences that the visitors from around the world will see when they come to visit the museum.
The NHCS has embarked on a long-term plan for the complete redevelopment of its 3 museums. Still to come, St. John's Community Festival planned for April 26th to May 4th. The details when we come back.
Taxes are the lifeblood of a nation. Feel good about what your tax dollars do in Nevis. As a responsible citizen, your tax dollars protect our environment. Pay your taxes on time. This message was brought to you by the Inland Revenue Department, Nevis.
Be a responsible citizen.
Welcome back. Prime Minister the Honourable Dr. Timothy Harris has extended his best wishes to former Nevis Premier the Honourable Joseph Parry on his retirement from active politics. In a statement issued on Monday, January 6th, Prime Minister Harris noted that the Honourable Joseph Parry has rendered distinguished service to his country and fellow citizens during an illustrious public service career. Mr. Parry notably headed up the post-independence Nevis Civil Service from 1983 to 1987 before being elected to the NRP ticket in December 1987 and going on to serve as Minister of Tourism, Agriculture and Labour from 1987 to 1992 in the administration of Nevis's first Premier, the late, the Right Excellent Sir Dr. Simeon Daniel, one of our national heroes. The Prime Minister said history will remember the decisive role Parry played in determining the governance of our country following the November 29, 1993 general elections, which saw the People's Action Movement and his Nevis Reformation Party form a coalition government upon the approval of the Governor-General, His Excellency Sir Clement Arundel. The Honourable Joseph Parry, the only successful NRP candidate in the 1993 general elections, was sworn in as Minister of Trade, Industry and Tourism as a member of the new PAM NRP government. The seasoned politician was also the only successful NRP candidate in the Nevis Island Assembly election of December 18, 2017. The statement says Prime Minister Harris and his cabinet colleagues take this opportunity to extend best wishes to the Honourable Joseph Parry and convey their sincere respect and gratitude on the occasion of his retirement from active politics, adding that his impact will be felt and appreciated for a long time. Members of the St. John's Parish are making plans to revive its community festival this year. The events for the St. John's Community Festival are expected to run from Sunday, April 26th to Monday, May 4th.
It has been said that St. John's would have had festival many years ago, and so yes, it would be a revival of the festival there. The theme for the festival is awakening our heritage and educating our communities for a united St. John's.
The Department of Community Development is assisting the festival's committee with organizing the activities.
They're looking at a church service, a stroll down memory lane that is about going to St. John's and talking about the things of the past. The official opening of the festival, Know Your Village quiz, which was a quiz that happened before. Wear something white there, the persons who live in St. John's. Instead of having like a Queen show or Calypso show, they're thinking about star search. There will be a talent contest. And they're also looking at a cultural food tour and food fair, a best village competition, juve and cool down.
Director of the Department of Community Development, Janet Maloney, is urging the residents of St. John's Parish to participate in the events in order to make the festival a success.
come out and support these activities, support the festival. They are still looking persons to be a part of the committee in terms of assisting with some of the activities that they propose to have at the festival. So I know that St. John's is a community that is full of talented people. So I am kindly encouraging you not just to sit back and look on, be a passive looker, but be active and come out and make it one of the best festivals on the island of Nevis.
Meloni also expressed appreciation to the organizing committee for the St. John's Community Festival for their work in making the festival come to fruition. That's it for this edition of the Divas Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Thank you for viewing.